What do you notice? Good. What else? Just keep going until you say, that's all I notice. Come on, you notice more. Peepo clappers. You can do it. Alright, what about color contrast? Color contrast red/green. That's no coincidence.
Oh my!
I mean, they could have given him a blue or green shirt. In fact, let's do it, to see why red was a choice. Now his body is merging with the tree. Not that good, right? Looks like his head is floating. Let's take blue. It also kinda looks like his head is floating, lol. Now white, since we also have white clouds. This would be yellow. But yellow is next to green. It contrasts against the sky. But kind of forms a unit with the green. Since it is relatively close, you see? They used a triadic scheme. There are color schemes that you can read about. Let me Google it. Let's see what they write about triadic. A triadic color scheme uses colors that are evenly spaced across the color wheel, i.e. red, blue, and yellow. It's the least commonly used color scheme around and is often used for 1970s period pieces. This recent commercial by GE called Meet Molly, the girl who never stops inventing is a perfect example of how to apply the triadic scheme. The triadic scheme is sprinkled throughout, from her red raincoat with yellow stripes, to the red lawnmower with yellow flags. This commercial deserves a round of applause for its cinematic use of color scheme. At the end of the commercial, Molly is working as an engineer for GE and the color scheme changes to a more subdued blue, showing both a passage of time and development of character. In the sixth sense, red is used to signify danger and to say, something scary is about to happen. When a color becomes associated with a character and then suddenly changes, the filmmaker is trying to tell us something about that character. Discordant color schemes can also symbolize madness and instability. Here's the exact same setup from Moonlight, except this time a discordant color scheme is used to magnify the mom's manic behavior. So you see, the color has a symbolic meaning. Since we don't know the movie, or at least I don't, I can't really tell what exactly the shirt symbolizes. But if I did, I am sure it amplifies whatever the kid stands for. Okay, let's talk about placement. We have this kind of placement. They could have centered the kid. Right? But they didn't. It probably has something to do with the story and mood. But I want you to realize that there are other options and that they chose this particular option for a reason. The golden ratio stands for harmony and nature. So we know that this scene is probably not too unnatural. Yes. That would be a good study. Then I would also look at the shapes and how they overlap. This is one of the most important parts. You always have to see everything like this. This is one side of the coin. The other side is the actual value grouping. See the lights on the left and right. Those are most likely lamps. Other light sources. I don't think it's the natural light. Now you see how they composed the shot value-wise. There is a gradient. A gradient pushing the viewer's attention towards the center. But that gradient isn't from super black to white. I mean, they could have done that somehow. But they didn't. If you see something, you always keep in mind, how else could it have been? Why is this better than something else? My pants are clean. Peepocot. Thank you. I mean, this shot is kinda boring, but I chose it for a reason. I chose it because even though at first glance it is boring and you may think there isn't much to it, there is still purpose and planning behind it. And the image has a foreground, midground, background. The classic 3-layer structure. Could have been 2 layers. If they zoomed at him with a large tree behind. Or chose a different lens. Ashia Pi 97 people love. Let's get another example. Just to make sure that you understand the concept. All good things are 3, right? One, could be luck, 2, could be luck again, but if you get it 3 times I think you understand it. This is interesting. Let me mark down stuff so that we can check if they used stuff like golden ratio. Oh? Coincidence? There is one more example that I want to show you, and that will make you see stuff very clearly. But let's cover this one first. What do you notice? Right. There are very straight lines. But why are here straight lines? Not only to lead towards the cup. That's leading. We already got that. But I mean, there are other ways to lead the eye. Without straight lines. So why did they use straight lines here? No. Okay, let me ask another question. Why do we even compose? What makes such a fuzz about planning the placement and quality of stuff? Why asterisk? That too, yes, but technically why do we do it? Yes, to organize. With what purpose? Yes, there are parts that are more important. That is correct. So in other words,
Oh my.
we try to split the image into focal points and non-focal points. That's what I was trying to make you say, but I mean you indirectly said it. What makes a focal point a focal point? Still there? But graphically, how do we achieve a focal point? I mean anything could be important. Her shirt could be important. But why do we know that it's the cup that's important? There is one word that I want you to say. Yes. I actually wanted to make LOL_Narthil say it. But you are correct, KIO Arts. Composition is about management of contrasts. We explain the importance of stuff through contrast and we lead the eye with it. So in order to make the cup special, what do we need to do? Would love to teach at Ashta 4. That's too specific. Think in broader terms at my pants are clean. Blurring it is one solution, that is correct, but in general, how do we create contrast? Yes, but that's all very specific. I will give you 2 more minutes. I just want to hear an approach, not specifically about this image, but like in general. OMG, I hate typos, lol. Especially with TDS.
Oh my.
This is one of the things I learned from J-Tough Designs. And it clicked after I learned this. But I will give you some time to figure it out. On your own. SPARR0W14 No. You always have to study many references. There are techniques that are supposed to support your learning, which you may refer to. I can link it to you. This is the part about pose in any angle. But in general you should study from ref and simplify it. Okay, time is up. I will teach you the most important lesson of today. Number 1. Define your focal point. Okay. We got the color, the saturation, and the value. And the form. Those are 4 properties. How do we make it stand out? Because that's what contrast is about. By choosing the opposites. The surrounding stuff is supposed to be different from the focal point. Not everything needs to be the opposite, but the more we choose, the stronger the contrast. So what is the opposite of round or curved? Opposite asterisk. Now it should become clear why we have straight lines. They could have added a round chair and a round table behind her. But they didn't. A round carpet. With dots on it. Round dots. If you only think of the straight lines, then you can't realize that this was a choice. A deliberate choice. But if you compare it to other options, then you see that this was there to contrast against the roundness of the cup. They could have also used curvy stuff in the background. Plants. Or whatever. But they didn't. Look at the carpet. That's a choice. Hi Warner. What else is rather straight? The person itself forms a unit. The person is both round and straight. But let's look at the phone. Phone is right next to the cup. They didn't need to give her the phone. Phone could also be on the table behind her. But no, it's in her hand, a rectangle right next to the round cup. That creates extra tension. Do you see that? Hi PepsiCo 03. And this is why I said not everything needs to be the opposite. The stuff inside the cup is pitch black. And the value is 35% white. So basically closer to black. If they really wanted to push it, they could have used milk. And that would have pushed the contrast even more. Maybe something like that. And the cup darker. But it's probably about the coffee too. Story-wise. And it doesn't always need to be the strongest contrast, it just needs to have contrast. That's all. Mastering composition is about mastering the graphical properties and juggling the intensity of the contrast. Intensity. Yes, the background is more blurry too. The background is kinda yellow. So it's a subtle contrast. Okay, now the third example. Let me Google it. Ah wait, I wanted to point out the golden ratios. No coincidence. Her nose is sitting right on the golden ratio. And the other golden ratio line splits the character from the background. Again. Golden ratio. 2 focal points. What else do we notice? The color contrast. Her red lips. And her rather red face. Compared to the green background. Even the dude's face is more green because of the lighting. Then sharp vs blur. And I guess the 3 buttons are also intentional. The whole body is like empty and the sequence of the buttons lead to her face. And the head is getting framed by that neck thing. Right? Composition becomes more clear now. With this in mind, you won't just copy the images. You will think about why stuff is like that. And how it could have been worse. Composition is also something organic, it's a trial and error thing. You experiment. And the only way to take shortcuts is by having experience. The idea is that you start a composition for your image poorly. But it doesn't matter that it is poor. Because with this exercise, you learn how to optimize it. And that's how all compositions work. It's an optimization process or just one that relies on templates of compositions that you already know look good. And I am pretty sure that a lot of them are based on templates, such as this one. You remember this and use a similar composition for your own work. What if this was Uri and the soldier? On the Ari piece? Well, I don't actually think the Ari piece is very successful, haha. Take care, KIO Arts. The reason is because when I worked on the thumbnails, I hadn't understand the stuff I am teaching you now. Understood asterisk. I was still trying to figure it out and nobody could really explain it to me the way I just did. JTuff was a big help with the opposite contrast thing. You can always juggle contrasts at just a Keras. If you think it's too much, just hide him in the shadows.
Oh my.
And you can always change the crop. That's what composition is about. As mentioned earlier, you have to adjust stuff with the contrasts. If you feel like Ari is too small, then make her bigger. If you think the soldier is still too important, then crop him a bit. Nice.
Oh my. Oh my.
I actually never thought of using film compositions, but that is definitely a way to start your image. You don't have to stick with it, as you can see. But why not start replacing stuff and see where it leads you? Definitely a good way. Flat color thing? The layering? Oh, that. That's a Photoshop filter. You go to Filter, Filter Gallery, Cutout Filter, use the values, 442. But thanks to my lesson you now understand? At Poggies. Yes, just a Karis. It's the Colorist 2 add-in. No, I start with gestures at Bugsack. After that, I replace the gesture with a 3D form.